Laura Mitchell never imagined how a chance move from her quiet hometown of Maplewood to the bustling streets of Chicago would turn her life upside down. After losing her father, she packed her bags with nothing but hope and determination, yearning to escape the silence of her past and build a future she could be proud of. The city was overwhelming, loud, fast, and lonely, but there was a small refuge Laura found downtown, a charming toy store named Whimsy Nest. It was a world bursting with color, laughter, and an endless maze of dolls from every corner of the globe. Laura had always been enchanted by dolls. Her tiny apartment was practically a museum, every shelf lined with porcelain faces, each with its own story whispered through painted eyes. These dolls were her family, her solace, until that day when one tiny smile shattered everything she held dear. One chilly autumn afternoon, a rare delivery arrived at Whimsy Nest. It was a limited edition collection of Labubu dolls, strange little creatures known for their oversized blue eyes, long ears, and unsettling toothy grins. Within mere hours, the entire shipment was snapped up, except for one, a golden Labubu doll, gleaming under the store's soft lights like it was alive, glowing with a light that seemed too real to be plastic. Laura found herself magnetized to the golden doll. Store owner Mr. Harper, observing her fascination, smiled warmly and said, "Take it. Consider this a gift for your hard work." It felt like winning a prize. That night, Laura brought the doll home, placing it tenderly on the table next to her fluffy white Maltese Biscuit. "Biscuit, meet your new sister," she joked. But Biscuit didn't wag his tail like he usually did. Instead, his fur bristled, his body stiffened, and then he unleashed a deep, furious bark. Laura was stunned. She'd never heard Biscuit like this before. No matter how much she called his name, he refused to take his eyes off the doll. His growls escalated until Laura finally lifted the doll to a high shelf, hoping to calm him. But Biscuit didn't sleep that night. He stayed by the bedroom door, glaring at the shelf until morning. The next morning wasn't any better. As Laura got ready for work, Biscuit erupted in barking again, louder and more desperate. When she tried to leave, he bit at her jeans, dragging her toward the doll's shelf. "What is wrong with you?" she snapped, pushing him away. Frustrated, she locked Biscuit in the bathroom and headed off to work. Something was off about Laura, too. Normally patient and kind, she was irritable and blunt. A little boy accidentally dropped a toy, and Laura yelled at him for no good reason. Mr. Harper pulled her aside, clearly shocked. "Laura, what's going on with you?" he asked gently. But Laura didn't know either. Her temper flared again later in the day. For the first time in her life, Mr. Harper let out a sigh and made a decision. "I'm sorry, Laura. I have to let you go." Humiliated and confused, Laura walked home with tears burning her cheeks. Opening the door, Biscuit rushed to her side. His tail was down, his growls replaced by soft whimpers. He licked her hands as if trying to say sorry. Laura dropped to her knees, hugging him tight. "I'm sorry too, Biscuit," she whispered. Exhausted, Laura went to bed early, hoping for peace. But at 2 a.m., a faint, chilling sound broke the silence. Laughter, childlike giggles, drifting through the apartment like a ghostly whisper. Laura's heart pounded. She turned toward the shelf and froze. The golden Labubu was gone. Her breath caught in her throat as her eyes scanned the room. A draft stirred the curtains, and for a fleeting moment, something shifted in the shadows. Then she found it, the doll, lying face up on the floor next to her bed. Calmly, she whispered, "Did you fall?" Reaching out, she touched it. It was warmer than plastic should be, almost alive, terrified but desperate to convince herself it was nothing. Lara set the doll back on the shelf, turned off the lights, and forced herself to sleep. But the nightmare had just begun. In her dream, Lara was frozen in place, unable to move. At the window stood a horrifying creature, tall and hunched, its skin a decaying shade of red, its grin stretching impossibly wide as long claws scraped the floor. A soft, sing-song voice hissed from its lips, "Play with me." Before lunging forward, Lara screamed, waking up in a gasp, only to find the golden Labubu doll perched on her chest, staring directly into her eyes. She screamed again, flinging it off her. Biscuit raced in, barking wildly, latched onto the doll, tearing it apart until golden fur and stuffing were scattered everywhere. But Lara did nothing. She sat there, trembling as the chaos raged around her. When Biscuit was finally done, she gathered every shredded piece, wrapped them in a trash bag, and collapsed beside her brave little dog. "It's over," she whispered, clutching him close. Morning should have brought relief, but it didn't. Her head throbbed with a relentless ache, and strange red marks dotted her hands like tiny burns or bite marks. Biscuit was nowhere to be found. She called for him, searched every corner, checked the bathroom empty. Then her eyes caught her reflection in the mirror, and her stomach sank. Her reflection wasn't her own. Her skin was pale, her eyes darker than normal, lips trembling like she was on the verge of tears. But behind her in the mirror's reflection was something far worse, a tall, twisted figure, smiling in the darkness. Lara spun around, heart hammering, but the room was empty. Except on the bathroom shelf sat the golden Labubu doll, perfectly still, grinning like it knew a terrible secret. "No," Lara breathed. "I saw you destroyed." Without hesitation, she grabbed the doll, ran to the stove, and set it aflame. The plastic hissed, melting, and releasing a sickly sweet stench that made her stomach turn. She watched the fire consume it, turning everything to black ash. Shaking, Lara gathered the ashes in a jar, went outside under the moonlight, and tossed them into the river. Only then did she feel a flicker of calm. That night, she called her younger sister, Emily, and told her everything: the laughter, the nightmares, the terrifying return of the doll. Emily tried to soothe her. "It's just stress," she said gently. "You need rest, Lara." Lara wanted to believe her. She hung up, curling up in bed beside Biscuit's empty space. But the next morning, neighbors found Lara's apartment door ajar. Inside, Lara lay on the floor, unmoving, eyes wide with horror. Beside her, the golden Labubu doll sat untouched, smiling as bright as ever. Police found no sign of struggle. It was as if fear itself had stolen her life. Days later, one of Lara's co-workers came to gather her belongings. Among the packed boxes lay the golden doll, harmless and innocent looking. Without a word, she tucked it into her purse, thinking it would help her remember Lara. A week passed. Then the co-worker vanished without a trace. Stories started surfacing online. Tales of golden Labubu dolls moving on their own, laughing in empty rooms, even attacking their owners. Some experts whispered about curses, ancient demons named Pazuzu inhabiting the toys, while skeptics called it mass hysteria. Governments around the world banned the dolls. Collectors burned their collections. And yet, a few golden Labubus still circulate, passed quietly from unlucky hands to the next. So, if you ever see a golden Labu doll smiling up at you from a store shelf, would you dare bring it home? If this story sent a chill right down your spine, hit that subscribe button. There are more true horror stories coming your way, some closer than you think. Could the next one be lurking right beside you tonight?
Don't forget to subscribe because there are more stories like this, waiting to be told.